Happy New Year, everyone. It's the first week of January, and today's episode from the Church of the Third Eye is going to be on goal setting. I'm Adolfo Castellano, and this is Tricia Castellano.
Hi, everybody. Happy
We're
New Year.
so excited to come into your lives today and discuss how is this year going to be different from any year. Is it a happy new year? Is it going to be the blah, blah, same year? And a lot of people have been asking us, how do we stay so focused on our goals and consistent? So we thought it'd be a good idea to start talking about how to do it. So Trish, roadmap. What's the roadmap for success for setting goals and achieving them?
So your roadmap has to start with an idea, and that idea then needs to be broken down into small, manageable steps that you can take. At the same time, it's important to keep things in mind. You don't want to necessarily tell everybody what your goals are, because not everyone's going to support you and think it's the greatest thing in the world. And to keep your motivation, you don't want a lot of naysayers dragging you down. So it's important to keep it close to your vest. Work on the things that you want to work on, break it down again into small manageable goals, and then start to work. Tell them about the 100-hour rule, Adolfo.
No, I'm not going to tell you.
Come on, tell us.
Listen, if you're like me and you have a very small attention span, I like to set my roadmap very small. Highest priority is the priority. Meaning, what's the most important thing you want to achieve? For example, right now, my health and fitness are the most important parts of that. The 100-hour rule that Trish is talking about, we'll get to it a little bit, but it'll come over time. What's 100 hours? If you practice something, the rule is you'll start to get good at it if you put 100 hours of work into it. 100 hours at the gym, 100 hours at learning a new language, 100 hours at playing guitar, etc., jiu-jitsu, whatever that goal may look like for you. So, but prioritizing what's going to be the most important goal should be the most important thing that anyone does when they start out to set goals. So Trish,
Yes.
What would be your top goal for this year?
Well, my top goal is going to be this podcast, that I want to get good at it. We're enjoying it, and that is the number one priority for me. Having said that, part of doing this is always going to be to have the discipline to put the time into it. And so discipline from when I was very young was always very important to me, because really without discipline, I'm not going to get anything done. How do you feel about that?
How do I feel about that? Well, look, discipline usually means doing stuff even when we don't want to.
That's true.
Okay, so let's talk about people that lack discipline are people, without stereotyping, I'll just use myself. Areas where I lack discipline used to be getting to work on time. So I literally, for about 10 years, had every clock in my home running 10 minutes fast before iPhones, of course, before the advent of technology that told you the actual time. But I would have to trick myself so that I could learn a new behavior about being on time. Obviously now I leave at the proper time, but I put the hours in practicing getting on time because I made it a priority. Little things like that, just showing up on time. Budgeting time. Time is something that is fleeting, but it's something we all have the same amount of. There's 168 hours every week, 24 hours a day. So, time to go to the gym. Well, if it's not important, I promise you're not going to go. If it's important, I promise you'll find an hour and prioritize it to make sure that you do go. For example, Trish, you go to the gym at what, 5 in the morning, 6:20?
I get up at like 5, and then I get there by 6:20. And yeah, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't go, because most likely at the end of my long day, I really don't want to do that after work. So to me, that's very important. And it's equally as important that I'm eating right, because I don't want to get up that early, put the work in, and not see the results. So it's also a priority for me to food prep and keep my diet in check.
We'll discuss that in a minute. So again, if you work like a 9-to-5 job or an 8-to-4, 9-to-6, we're in our 50s. Going to the gym with the younger crowd after 6, it's just not in our priority list. So also, it's starting the day off feeling good about getting that prioritization of the main thing done. It doesn't even have to be the gym. We're using that as an example. Like for example, if it's meditating, if it's setting aside the time, especially in the beginning of the day before the day gets busy, where you're doing something for yourself, for myself, for Trisha's self, that makes us feel good. Because let's just be real about this. I mean, being overweight doesn't feel good. Being lethargic doesn't feel good. Not hitting your goals or sticking with them doesn't feel good. So this whole podcast is coming to you from many, many years of not feeling good about not reaching goals. And now that we've learned to achieve certain goals that are important to us, we wanted to share with you the recipe, the secret sauce. And the number one thing is it's prioritizing it. So as far as the roadmap is concerned, I believe that the prioritization of the goals is the most important. So, Trish, where do you get your discipline from?
Well, that is very much from my mindset and my belief that I can achieve my goals and having a good attitude. And really that self-discipline, again, is mindset. I could make excuses. I'm tired. I don't want to go.
But where did you get the discipline, though? Where did it come from? Like, what's your earliest days of saying, I want to do something so bad, I'm willing to sacrifice sleep, I'm willing to sacrifice time with, guy time, girl time, just, where you want to sacrifice other things?
Well, when I first saw it, when I started in gymnastics, I was 10 years old, and when I saw it on TV, I thought it was the most beautiful thing ever. So I was willing to do whatever it took. I just showed up, and I feel like that the same thing whenever if I want something bad enough, I'm going to show up and do my best to get it. But at the same token, it's the positive self-talk that's going to get me out of bed. It's going to be praying for the willingness if I don't have it. It's going to be being prepared makes it a lot easier to take the action behind the wishes. So if I'm not prepared, that's gonna, I can't do it. It's real easy to fall back into that thing, but that's really for me where it comes from is if I want something, I'm gonna go get it, I'm gonna be prepared. What about you?
Well, I have to agree with preparation because again, getting up at 5 a.m. and not having your clothes all ready, and having to fiddle, just the more I can prepare myself for my endeavors, the more successful I'm going to become, the more time I can spend on that goal. Every year it's the same. Oh, I want to build more wealth. Okay, well, what's the preparation to do so? Okay, well, let's look at our finances and see where we're spending TV subscriptions, or where can we cut money in terms of buying new clothes that we don't even wear. There's so many little places where we found money could be hidden, that we could put that into, even if it's just a small CD account, earning 5% interest, or put it into an index fund, which is one of our goals this year. So, but it's only a thought until we start taking action on it. Wouldn't you say so?
Yep, that's so true. Yeah, but it has to start with a thought, become the desire, become prepared to do the desire, and then take action. You know what I mean? So there is a process of it, and a lot of it rests between the two ears. If it's a priority like we started with, then it has to be a priority that's something that you think of and work towards every day. And if you have a priority to start some kind of investment and you're thinking about it every day and you're looking at it every day and you're starting to prepare to do it, then you are going to do it. If you don't, if you're like, it's like a wish. If you don't take the action behind the desire, it's just a wish. But if you start preparing, you get up, I'm going to go to the gym every morning. I get my clothes out, I lay them out at night. I have my coffee ready to be turned on if I need the coffee, or my pre-workout, or whatever it is. It's already there as soon as I open my eyes, ready to go. Then you're going to do it. You're more likely to do it than if you're not prepared and you wake up bewildered, So for goals, it's important to also work on your mindset, because a lot of this can be negative and a lot of it can be positive. And if we work on keeping it positive every day about most things, it gets easier to keep it positive and it gets easier to achieve the goals, which is one of the more spiritual foundations that I found in working on myself, is that I've had some stinking thinking in the past, but it's something that I can work on every day. But I have to work on it. And it's gotten so much better over time where I barely ever have that, but it still can creep in, and then I have to pivot. I have to change that thought to, I'm tired. You know what? I feel better when I work out. I feel better when I get up. I want to feel good. That's my intention. I'm going to set it, and then I'm going to set my alarm, and I'm going to put something next to my bed that I'm going to start drinking right away. My clothes are laid out. I'm getting my ass out of bed. You know what I mean? And then I get the endorphins. I'm happy. I feel good all day. Same thing when we do something we set out to do, like our podcast. When we start working on it, even though it's frustrating, we're learning the technology of it. Once we get through that and we can start filming, then, I feel good. And now I have a product that I'm proud of, and I'm hopefully bringing some love and some inspiration to the public. And that's really what our goal was here. And so everything that we're talking about as far as goal preparation, changing the mindset. Part of my recovery journey has been to change. I'm very Italian. What can I say? Change my mindset. Changing my mindset from poor me to I can do anything. Everything that's possible in life is possible for me. God does not make junk. So, and I have to tell you that too, for all my subscribers out there, God doesn't make junk. You might not be where you want to be, but you can be wherever you want to be if you put the work in. If you put the work up here in, and you write down your goals and you follow a roadmap to success. Dolfo, your turn.
Well, that was quite a mouthful.
Thank you.
That's passion. That's dedication. That's perseverance. Look, all I can do is I want to encourage people that have never really thought that they can do something, like maybe it's join a gym and work out. There's a lot of people out there that just don't have the education, and so the built-in excuse is, forget it. Or they'll go to the gym for a week and just completely kill themselves and not want to go ever again, right? So, what we're learning is if I'm the smartest person, if we're the smartest people in the room about a subject matter we know nothing about, we need to get some intelligent people in the room that know what the heck's going on, because we're just going to be stuck. And that's the beautiful thing about this information age that we live in, this community that we're trying to build right now with the Church of the Third Eye. It's not about necessarily worship. It's about community. It's about sharing ideas and principles that we find that work. And the number one thing that I've learned is that my attitude will dictate where my goals getting achieved or not, or even if I come short. But you know what? If I give it 100% and do my best, I'm going to guarantee myself feeling good about trying. Okay, and I'm going to be light years ahead of where I was when I first started.
That's so true. And just so if I may interject that, successful people aren't successful every time. They have plenty of quote unquote failures under their belt before they got to where they wanted to go. And that is not really failure. That is just learning. And I think that's an important distinction that people don't seem to want to make, is that if you attempt something and don't hit your goal, you've just gotten that much closer to getting your goal next time if you don't stop there. It is about perseverance. It's about doing the best you can, and next time it's going to be a little better because you've learned through your experience. And that is such a great teacher. There's nothing like the teacher of life. We go through so many experiences and we fall down and we get back up, and that's really where the learning is, and that's where the self-love comes in, is like, I can do it. This is not the end, hold on, pain ends. That's hope, so have hope, have a little faith in yourself, and a little self-talk that works is, just telling yourself, you can do this. All right, what have you learned from this? Not, oh, you failed. What have I learned? What can I take into my next experience? What do you got on that?
Well, I think my wife has the answers.
Oh,
and she's pretty passionate about this.
That's the other thing I wanted to
Oh,
bring
yeah.
up too.
Hey. I'm just a good-looking talent. She's the one with all the knowledge. We're going to let her just share with you. I'm kidding.
The other part of what I wanted to just you triggered in me was you have to be open-minded. If you're going to learn, you have to have an open mind. If you think you know it all, you're not going to get anywhere because you have the wall up of learning. You're going to run into a wall when there's some new information that will help you. That's my mind.
But when you run into a wall, guys, you have a choice to make. Like there's lots of walls out there. I can't do it. I don't have time. The excuses, if the excuses are the priority, then you're stuck, right? If I've learned the hard way, sometimes showing up is winning. Like if I went to the gym last week and I had I don't necessarily say it was a crappy workout, but I showed up. In a lot of times, I never took stock in that. Look, I don't know what I'm going to compare myself to other than to be the best version of Adolfo, so I can share the version with you and the audience and with Trisha, and she's so passionate about this, which is great. I don't mind if she gets a thought that she wants to share with you because that's our relationship. Our chemistry is so unbelievably, we're blessed because our ideas into just the chemistry and the electricity of how we are co-creating in our mind. We share these principles and these priorities and love and passion. And so it's good. I know, hey, it's okay. Let her talk, and let her talk with her hands. I love teasing her about it. But guys, start something, but put some work into it, even if it's just a little bit. It doesn't, she's an everyday type of person. I'm not. I believe in balance. I believe if you say you're going to do, if you're going to prioritize it, if it's your health and fitness, yeah, there's compartments to it. There's definitely the kitchen part. That's the most important part. The exercise part can be 3 or 4 days a week of active weightlifting. That's the recommendation from the scientists and the experts. Lift heavy weights, regardless of your age and size. And if you don't know how to, hire a trainer to teach you. There's plenty of YouTube videos that can show you if you're a self-starter. But again, if you make it a priority with your money, I don't have the money to hire a trainer. I promise you do. People have money literally falling out of their pockets to spend $6, $7 on a cup of coffee at Starbucks. You add that up, that's a car payment. There's your personal training for the month. And so it's just, whatever your negative self is telling you, tell it to shut the heck up. Because if you want a new happy new year, what are you willing to do this new year to get it? And that's the whole idea of build your own roadmap, whatever that looks like for you. And to share it with another person if you can, great. If you have a partner that's like-minded, even better, fantastic. But being self-motivated is challenging for a lot of people. We're both self-motivated, but we're also self-motivated together, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes I need a nudge, and on the weekends when we go to the gym together, I don't always want to be there, but I show up, dress up and show up. That's half the battle for a lot of people. Sometimes that's 90% of the battle, because once you're there, you're going to do something. And if that's all you ever do, you keep showing up, it's going to get easier. And
you're right.
It's good to have a partner. And if you need that, I can remember after I had my son, I was 39 years old when I had him, and I wanted to lose some weight, and I was having trouble. And, I had a friend who said, hey, just text me every single thing you eat. And I did, and it kept me accountable. And I had to tell somebody, so I couldn't keep, hiding I'm going to eat 12 million chips over here. But that being accountable to somebody else and being honest about it helped me get back into shape, basically. And it's a great support, and this is a girlfriend of mine and a very good friend, and I would do anything for her too. This is what you have people in your life for, they're here to help you if they're the right people. And it's important to have the right people who support you on your journey, and you don't have to tell everybody about your goals. Some people will be jealous. Some people who don't want to do anything will try to knock it because, that's their roadmap is nothing right now. So people who are on the journey trying to accomplish things are going to be more your cheerleaders. So just keep that in mind. People who are naysayers, you don't have to listen.
There's been times where I literally have to create new challenges. I mean, I've been working out. Trish and I have been working out together and separately for 20 years that we've been married. Okay, and I got to tell you, my body fat has been way higher, even though I was exercising. And aging. There's so many components that go into the negative side of it. But the positive side is the aging is also a positive thing, because with age comes wisdom. Like, I've learned I can't get away with eating sugar, refined sugar. I can't get away with eating processed foods. Food is mood, and that is so true for at least myself. And you can see it in kids. You give kids, sugar, watch them just, bounce off the walls, in these foods that I call it a war, man. There's a war against the information, the nutrients, the things that, as human beings, we should have an inherent right to eat nutritious food. And then they make it even more expensive. So again, this goes into priorities. Like our grocery bill, by far is the biggest expense in our household, because we only eat organic food, we only eat high protein content rich food, and we don't eat, if it has a label on it, you're gonna have good luck trying to find it in our house. We just don't eat it because we've learned the hard way. But we don't have medical bills. I don't have prescriptions that I got to refill in terms of, high blood pressure and things like that. So the benefits far outweigh the sacrifices, the discipline. It's one of those things where if you like and subscribe what we're talking about, and you have questions about how to buy good food that's rich in nutrients on a budget, please like and comment. I'll be happy to share some knowledge with you, some wisdom. I am as frugal as they come. I'm the oldest of 6 kids in my family. We learned to budget money. We learned to budget, and buy better for less, and it's, again, all things are possible in America, as one of our friends likes to say. If you have a plan, this is part of the plan. You have to have a plan. You have to have a roadmap, and you have to want to be willing to be committed to it. I always say, like in the rooms of recovery, they say, hey, give it a year without a drink or a drug. And if you're not satisfied, we'll refund your misery. It's literally the same for anything that you don't feel good about, that you look in the mirror and like, I don't feel good about the way I look. I don't feel good the way how I talk to my family. I don't feel good the way I talk to, to my peers. I don't feel good. Whatever the things that are making you not feel good, there's a remedy for it. And sometimes it's polar opposite of how you currently think. But if you start changing the food that you put into your body, you start changing the exercise, because I don't know about anybody else out there. This is my little rant. I look at exercising as going to recess when I was 8 years old. The one thing I could promise you that we all have in common is that when we were kids, the one thing we looked forward to in school was when the bell rang and you could go outside and play. And it was like, and then, where's that bell in life? We get caught up raising our families, our kids' problems,
Go.
our relationship concerns, whatever that looks like.
Shopping, cleaning, working. Yeah, we can go a lot to where we feel like we don't have any time. And that's where saying, you know what, I'm worth it. I'm worth some fun time. And for me too, like, I've learned to have fun at the gym. I listen to my music, I do my handstands, I do my little gymnastic things, and I lift weights, and I have fun. And if it's not, going to the gym, maybe it's playing tennis for you, or going outside and, walking, but have some fun in life. That's where, he was talking about balance. It's so important. I paint, I draw, having that little bit of meditative, fun time for me too. That's another thing I enjoy. So when I make it a priority, I deserve it. Life is not just about go, get the next dollar and feed my kids. It's about something more. There's got to be some joy inside to make it worthwhile, and that again is another reason that discipline is so important, because if I don't have discipline, then I'm always behind the 8 ball, trying to catch up, trying to get the things I want to get done, instead of having the roadmap to, hey, it's all done by this, now I have this free time and I can do whatever I want with it. And that's important.
And when you fall short, you got to give yourself a freaking break.
True.
If you say, hey, I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow, and you don't make it, you're going to feel like shit. Let's be honest, right? Oh my God, I didn't do it. And you know what happens? Oh, why bother? See, there's a gravitational pull in negativity, but there also is one with positivity. And if you could look and say, well, why didn't I make it to the gym? What was the missing link? I overslept. Okay, maybe the way I look at it is I've gone to the gym with 3 or 4 hours sleep because I knew I was going to sleep like a king the next day. And that is just the mind shift. It's the mindset of, okay, if I'm up playing video games, or if I'm up doing whatever, God knows what, working on my business, working on whatever, in an unmanageable way that's going to take away from something that's going to make me feel good in terms of my mood, my mental health. A big part of what we're doing here with the Church of the Third Eye is addressing mental health and the concerns of it. Food is a topic we're going to talk about in terms of how it affects mood, but more importantly, how not having proper outlets for our mind, for the endorphins to pop and to get things out, the secretions of sweat and toxins. There's a lot of people that just have sedentary lifestyles today and eat 3,000 calories and wonder why they're fat. And there's more to life than just, our technology that's bringing this into your computer or phone right now, but we're sharing the information with you. We're human beings. We have to move. We have to move. I don't want to fall and not be able to get up. That's just a real thing, and if you don't use it, you lose it. So just to kind of circle back, with the discipline, the commitment to achieving goals, the roadmap, all these little things are just starting points of where your goals can be achieved and where your life can be taken if you just start to apply yourself. And when you fail, say, you know what, I started and I'm not going to stop. Because when you start going into 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 30 days, you're just going to start to feel better. Make a goal to say, hey, you know what, in 1 year, I get to go wardrobe shopping. In 1 year, oh my God, I get to do this. I get to go on vacation and wear that bikini that I bought 3 years ago that doesn't fit. There's just so many. And God, I'm speaking from experience. When my thong didn't, when I bought when my bathing suit didn't fit and I had this nice jelly roll, it wasn't a thong, I promise you. It was a leopard thong. No. But it made me mad. I was like, you know what? I have to do something for myself. When we went on vacation last year, in the best shape, we both were in the best shape of our life.
Yeah.
My wife Trish was, literally saying, dude, you cannot keep your shirt on, can you? I'm like, no.
He couldn't.
No. I'm like, these abs, they've been here for my whole entire life. I'm just now seeing them. We're getting reacquainted. So have fun with it. Don't take yourself too serious. Don't take yourself too serious is a very big focal point of why we're bringing this to you. But also take it serious enough to prioritize it and start.
And it's okay to reward yourself along the way. You don't have to wait a whole year. If you lose 5 pounds or, you meet one goal, get your nails done, get a new shirt, whatever. Treat yourself to something that says, you know what, I am proud of you for doing the things I set out to do. And he's so right with not beating yourself up. You might fall short sometimes, but if you get right back up on the horse and try again, man. Don't give up. Don't give up. Because you know what? The future is ahead. And if you can say to yourself, I'm going to do something for myself that my future self will thank me for, I'm going to do it right now. And my future self, 3 months down the line, is going to so be grateful I did it. So that's all we got today, I think. Do you have anything more to share, honey?
No, this has been great. And stay tuned for our next episode.
Yes, please do. And please comment. We like to get your feedback, what you want to talk about.
Like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff.
All that fun stuff. And have a happy, healthy new year. And we'll see you soon.